liftoff?
Yeah, we got liftoff. DJ Danny Flavors in the building. Here we go. Yeah. Real one.
Grape team.
Here we go, episode 18. Me and my team, we looking clean on the
It's a grape
scene.
thing.
Yeah, it's a motherfucking grape thing. Yeah, and we riding in the scrape thing. Yeah, and you know it's a great thing. Great gang, great gang. Going great dummy, going great dummy. Yeah, going 18, great dummy, and it's episode 18. Look at my team, we so clean on the scene. Looking hella mean, what?
MC Purple, yeah, your boy been slept on. GDP, what happened when Urkel gets stepped on? Ooh, talking shit like a stepmom. Yeah, and you know you about to get the palm to your face, and I'm winning that race. Couldn't never be replaced.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, how's it taste?
Yeah.
I be smoking GDP, sitting high up in a tree. Just let me be.
We go up north and we load the truck line. All my perp is work designer weed in my sack, blowing baseball bats. Yeah, get it back, oh yeah. Rolling backwoods and they fat. In the backwoods, Humboldt County, baby, born and raised in the Santa Cruz Mountains where we don't smoke. Hey, yeah. Redwoods, they tall as fuck. Yeah, and they go woodchuck, motherfucker, yeah.
Big clouds, man, I'm higher than a pilot. You don't smoke perp, I think you should try it. If it's dark purple, then you know I'ma buy it. Yeah, I ain't even gotta try it. Going off the look and the taste, smoking perp to the face. And I know you love the bass, and I'm all up in the place.
Whoa.
Yeah, but what if I said no instead? I'm getting bread, putting lead in your head.
Putting lead in your head. And I'm smoking on this GMO. It's the GMO, and you know
till I'm dead.
you don't even know that
And
I'm
it put me
smoking
to bed.
on the GMO. Got the GMO in my LMAO. Whoa.
Yeah, I be smoking purple every day, chilling by the bay. Yeah, you know that's where I lay. Yeah, and you know I got a lay around my neck, cause I'm chilling in Hawaii. I'm smoking on that Maui, wowie.
Whoa,
Yeah,
wow.
that shit ain't really that
at
fire.
that
If I
salad.
said it was fire, I would be a liar. Yeah, I'm rolling like a
I
tire.
said, if you fall with the real ones, yeah, put your hands up right now. If you fall with the real ones, yeah, then we can ride out now.
Early morning blunt, so I'm late to
with the
work. I
real
couldn't
one.
wait for
Yeah.
the change, so I
We
ate
can
the
ride
clerk.
it off.
Yeah, you know I
If you
hate
fall
to
with the
work.
real one,
3838.
we can ride it off. Yeah, if you fuck with a real one, yeah, then we can fuck around now.
Long rip.
Yeah, if you fuck with a real one, yeah,
Here we
then
go.
we can fuck around now. Yeah, if you fucking with a real one, yeah, then we can fuck around now. This the Real Ones podcast, yeah, and we about to fuck around now. We about
Episode
to fuck
18.
around now. Yeah,
Episode 18.
yeah, and if
I'm
you
smoking
fuck with
grape
a real
cream.
one, yeah, then
it's
you
a
came
great
to the right
thing.
place.
And it feels real good. I be smoking on the backwood, rolling through the back streets, smoking on
If
GDP,
you fuck
listening to
with a real
Backstreet
one,
Boys.
Then you came
Listening
to the right
Backstreet
place.
Boys.
Well, all right.
All right, man.
I'd say some of you guys probably missed the freestyle last week.
Yep.
We're probably going to keep doing it this way, where we alternate doing an episode like this, normal style, with our freestyles, with our segments, and then
Yeah.
we'll do the interview. Kind of maybe not every single, maybe not every other episode, but, every few episodes at least, just to kind of break it up.
Yeah, it was nice to have a guest, have a friend on the show.
Yeah, I did miss the freestyle, though, last
Yeah.
week. It did kind of feel like something was missing.
I definitely did miss the freestyle. It lightens up the mood when you're coming in. It just gets the brain free flowing.
Gets you going, man.
We're not the best freestylers, so it really takes a lot of brain power to get that stuff to come to the surface.
Get you going.
It gets the juices flowing.
Anyways, as always, our show is brought to you by Pipe King. If you are looking for some glass, you need to check out Pipe King. You can check them out online at thepipeking.com, THEPIPEKING.com. We are running discount code over there, PURPLEKUSH. That's Purple Kush.
Purple Kush?
For those of you who don't know Grape Gang, you already know what's up. Type that in, you'll get 25% off of everything store-wide. I didn't know how long they were going to run that, but they just keep running it, and people keep using it, so it's working out well for everybody. So,
Yeah.
like I said, don't know how much longer it's going to last. Get over there and take advantage of it while you can.
Hope everybody out there is fucking blowing on something good. I got this GMO rolled up right here in this backwood. It's tasting fucking lovely. It's some of the first GMO that I've got my hands on, and I gotta say it's really, really tasty.
I'm smoking on some tiramisu.
But yeah, we are also brought to you by Made From Dirt Organics, guys. They are made from dirt. They are medicated topicals, guys, medicated salves. They're infused with CBD and THC. They are in stores, dispensaries statewide, here in the Bay Area, down south, anywhere. Go check them out. They're definitely one of the better topicals on the market, like I always say.
What else can you say? Maybe next week we'll trade off, and you can do Pipe King, and I'll do...
you say the same shit for Pipe Boys. King every day.
That's what I'm saying. What else can you say? Maybe we'll switch it up and see if we come up with something fresh.
Yeah, there we go.
Maybe we'll just do the whole... Maybe we'll combine the freestyle and the sponsor segment and just do a whole song about Pipe King.
Here we go.
The Dirt Boys.
Now you're thinking.
Let's do it, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Today is Wednesday, February 27, 2019. On this day in history, in 1827, the first ever Mardi Gras celebration took place.
That's crazy. You know, I've never made it to Mardi Gras.
I haven't either. I never would. I had no idea that it was something that was that old. If you would have guessed me what year is the first Mardi Gras, I would have guessed 60s maybe.
Yeah, that's crazy.
1827.
That's really old, you know? That's like, you know, almost 200 years old?
Yeah.
Damn.
That one surprised me, but not as much as this one. In 1997, divorce becomes legal in Ireland.
What?
So prior to that, it was illegal to get a divorce.
So
once you were married, you were stuck.
What? That's insane. What? There's
Ireland.
There's no backing out.
No. I was curious, like, is that a norm? Like, are we just so used to high divorce rates here in the U.S. and people have been getting married and getting divorced for decades, you know? Is that not the norm around the world? I know the U.S. has pretty high divorce rates, probably around the highest, but
yeah,
are there a lot of other countries where it's illegal to get divorced?
I don't know. I would assume probably not. I mean, you know, you gotta have the option to you know, be able to back out of something if it goes south, you know, if someone cheats on you or if you just no longer love the person. I feel like divorce is, even though it's shitty, I feel like it's necessary, you know? Not everything lasts forever.
There's sometimes where it's just inevitable, I feel like.
Yeah.
But I didn't look into it too much, but what I did see that was interesting is, you know, now that it's legal there, they have pretty low rates of divorce, you know? So it's like, I guess maybe it was something that kind of became part of their culture over time. That's just like when you get married, that's commitment, you stay together. So even though divorce is legal there now, it's still super low numbers, you know, relatively speaking.
It's like stick it out, motherfuckers.
It's just crazy. I wonder if there's anywhere where divorce is still illegal to this day. I'm sure there is some countries, some places.
I'm sure there is, you know.
Some places in the world.
Just like there's still places where you can get sentenced to death for smoking this plant we're smoking right now.
It's fucking crazy if you think about it, that not just weed laws, but there's so you could pick so many examples of, you know, laws and rules of the land that differ night and day from this patch of dirt to this patch of dirt.
It's so weird.
You know?
It's so weird.
Like, we're all humans. We all have the same needs. But for the most part, the same desires, the same, you know, natural things that we like to do in life. One of those is relax. Mm-hmm. People have their own different vices, their own things that they like to do. For some people, it's a glass of wine. For some people, it's a fat backwood, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's crazy how they govern these rules differently, you know?
It's just like, crazy that, you know, you like you just said, you could do the exact same thing on one patch of dirt. It's crazy to me when you get to a state line, when you're on a road trip and you see the state line, you can like stand right here and it's like
legal
5 years, fully legal.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And just literally the thought that there's just this imaginary line there that divides the land. And for some reason, we've all got different rules, you know?
Super trippy, man. I mean, it's really unfair, honestly, you know? I mean, I remember going through that when like I said, when I went to, I think I brought it up before, when I went to Maryland, and then I crossed into Virginia. It's like, you know, like you said, 5 years versus nothing. It's completely legal. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's doesn't make any sense. I think the U.S. just needs to legalize it already. Jeez.
And it makes it so much more complicated here because we're like, you go to other, areas of the world geographically, and it's mostly like countries that are different laws, crossing borders. But you come to the U.S. and it's just state lines. Like there's so many invisible borders within this one country, and all these states have different laws and shit. It's just nuts.
Super nuts. It really is nuts.
Anyway, there is your higher learning, your this day in history.
Yeah, Mardi Gras, right?
Yep.
Something like that.
What else has been going on, man? Was a big weekend for you this past weekend with the shoot and everything?
Yeah, went down to L.A., shot a little behind the scenes with you. It was definitely an exciting shoot, definitely a video that I'm going to be proud of. It's definitely different than anything I've done.
This one, of all your projects, I can say this one had the most like vision and time put into it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a lot of the other stuff you would put thought into the song and then the video was like an afterthought. This one you could tell like the video is going to be what makes the statement with the song. Or at least it's different. Like you said, it's just something a little bit different.
And the song slaps.
Yeah.
It's a classic, more rap style, just straight bars. So I'm excited to release that. The track's called Not the Same. Video is going to be coming soon. The song will be up on iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, all that shit.
Good shit. And then we'll be dropping that kind of behind the scenes vlog style stuff that we shot probably over on your channel. I've been dropping a ton of vlogs over on my channel. People have been really liking them. Thank you guys for all the positive feedback, and definitely check out all of the different channels that we have on YouTube, my channel, Dan's channel,
That's right.
the CCC channel, and the Real Ones channel, because we're putting up content on all of the channels constantly. So if you're only subbed to the one main channel, you're missing out on some shit. So get your grapes up and make sure you hit that button.
Hit that button, man.
Oh, it's been a while since we got into the news. We've got some new topics. We've got some old topics. There's been a lot going on, as usual, in this crazy fucking world, man.
Yeah, this world, man. This world is just ever-changing, and it's hard to keep up with it,
You heard a couple weeks ago about that guy that was supposedly victim of hate crime. He was basically... I wasn't paying attention that much to the original story. I was really busy those couple of days. I just wasn't keeping up with the news, so I didn't even really hear about the original story until the follow-up story came out. Basically, this dude who was an actor from, I want to say Empire or one of these shows, got his name right here, Jussie Smolet. He lied about being racially assaulted. Basically, he conspired with his friends, allegedly, and had them beat him up or whatever. He came out and said that he got mugged. These dudes were wearing red hats, linking it to the MAGA hat thing.
Okay.
He said they poured bleach on him. It was just this crazy story and shit. So apparently it came out a few days after that it was all fake, and it was all just a publicity stunt.
What is wrong with the world? So people are just now faking these events just to gain attention?
It's amazing. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to bring this up, because it just goes back to that common thread of,
what?
In 2019, people are willing to do anything for clout, man.
It's dude, you don't think people are going to find out that it's a false claim, and then boom, where's all your credibility's gone?
Think about it. That guy was getting, all of a sudden, overnight, everyone knew his name. If that story would have been true, and, that's what really sucks about this, is when people come out and fake shit like this, it takes away from people that real victims of hate crimes and all different types of shit, when people come out and it turns out that they're lying about shit, because then it naturally makes other people skeptical sometimes when they hear these stories,
Yeah.
But it's just fucked up that they went through all that and were willing to do that. You know what I'm saying?
For what?
Just for the attention. Think about it. If that would have been a true story and gone down the way he said, he'd be doing the press run right now. He'd be on Ellen.
Yeah.
He'd be on fucking all these late night TV shows.
It's so cheap. That's just, that's cheap. That's cheap in my opinion. If you got to go that low just to get some attention, it's man, find a different way, man. It's pretty pathetic that you got to fake a hate crime and ruin it for... people that this shit actually happens to.
because this shit is real and this shit does happen in the real world. And you know, it's the same thing like with the, you know, with this whole Me Too thing. Like there's a lot of these situations that are real, but then there's a lot of these situations that have come out to be not what they first were reported to be, or turned out to just be completely false altogether. And it's like we're at this day and age where social media, everything's instant.
Yeah.
Like in the court of public opinion, it's no longer like innocent until proven guilty. It's like once the headline is there, and in perception wise, everyone just says guilty.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. It's crazy.
That's what's amazing about the R. Kelly thing, that went on as long as it did.
I know.
It's just crazy, doesn't it seem like?
Why don't people step in? Or like, you know,
doesn't it seem like whoever wrote the code for this matrix is just like was having a blast at this point? Like the world is nuts, man. Like Donald Trump is the president. There's just celebrities going to jail and getting caught up for all kinds of crazy shit left and right.
People are losing their minds.
Robert Kraft this week got arrested supposedly. At first it was like a prostitute thing, and now they're saying like some pedophile thing. Like I don't know what the fuck. Or like human trafficking or some kind of weird shit. It's just like, it seems like almost every day that's like the leading theme of the news cycle. It's like some celebrity is going down for doing some crazy shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, dude, I don't know what's going on with the world. It's like, I feel like even around us, it feels like people are slowly just losing it. It's like, is it the 5G? What's going on?
Water, man?
What's in the water? What's in the air? What's in the radio waves? What's in the frequency?
Another example of just a crazy situation with a celebrity is that, did you hear about that YNW Melly thing? I had heard of this guy, but wasn't familiar really with his music or anything like that. This guy just got arrested for apparently murdering his two best friends.
Jesus.
Like apparently with a couple of co-conspirators. Apparently they like set it up to look like a drive-by or whatever. He was like getting on social media afterwards, like
and
talking.
What was this for?
I have no idea. I haven't looked into it that deeply, but that's just what I heard. Like he was arrested on murder charges.
What?
Yeah, for killing his two best friends. So it's like, and you got the Tekashi shit. It's just like all these guys are just.
I hope you don't kill me someday.
That how crazy is that, dude? Your best friends?
That's insane.
People they've known forever.
Why?
You know?
Why are people doing this?
That'd be like Rob killing Big.
It doesn't make any sense.
You know?
Like, is there seriously something in the air? Is it literally the 5G driving people insane or what? Like,
I don't know. I mean, we talked last week a little bit how there's just a depression epidemic, and I think just overall mental illness epidemic, both diagnosed and undiagnosed, going on with a lot of people. Maybe for some of these reasons, some that you've talked about, some that we may not know at all.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's more now than in times past.
Yeah. I guess that's the only thing, or drugs. It's either that or drugs.
It just seems like everyone can kind of feel it, right? Like the world's just kind of in this crazy state
rut. It's
right
in
now.
A big rut.
You know?
You know? It's like everyone wants to just do drugs and party. No one wants to work hard. Like, at least that's how I feel. You know? Like, a lot of people just want to live the high life without, like, putting in the work.
I wonder sometimes if it's, like, just because we're growing up and we're becoming slowly but surely, like, more aware of the world around us now. You know, like, as you get older, as you, like, live through life and you move around and you experience different things and you get to see different aspects of the world, like, your perspective changes, and it's not so much about, like, where you're from, your community, your way of life, your small bubble and everything. It just becomes more about, like, looking at humanity as a whole.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like, the more you do that, the more you look around and it just seems like everything's getting more chaotic. But then I wonder, is it just because we're at this point in our life where we're, like, growing up, becoming more mature, and now we're starting to, like, look at the world around us more? At least I am personally. You know?
Yeah, that's definitely a part of it.
Is it just, like, our age and where we're at personally in our, like, development and stuff that it makes it feel that way for us? Or is this something that just everyone feels as a whole?
I don't know. It's tough to say, you know. I mean, I think it definitely has to do with getting older and kind of reflecting different on the world and not being so young and innocent, you know. and kind of just looking at the world with more wisdom and, you know, knowing how cold it is instead of just being young and dumb and bushy-tailed.
Doesn't it kind of feel like everybody feels it, though? The tension? I guess, we don't really talk politics a lot on the show, but definitely politically, I'd say there's more tension now, at least than any point in our lifetime.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if but then, you think about all these different factors. Like, again, is that really the way it is, or is it just because the media has evolved into what it is? Again, with all the clickbait and the headlines and the 24-hour news cycle, like, that shit just gets crazier and crazier every day. That whole machine, that whole mechanism of society as a whole, with instantaneous videos and streaming and entertainment and news and all that shit. There's so much to consume, and we're just bombarded with it all day, every day.
Yeah, just live streams and all this shit. It's just getting overwhelming. It really is. It's like, and YouTube Live, and it's like, oh my God, man.
Who would have thought, like, we don't do these live, we don't live stream these, but we're still kind of talking, to the world, sharing our thoughts. There are podcasts where they live stream for, multiple hours, multiple days a week. There are people that play video games and live stream for multiple hours, some people all day long. Like, who would have thought 10 years ago? I don't think any of us would have thought we'd be living our lives in real time in front of people and broadcasting it all around the world.
That's virtual reality. It really is. It's a virtual reality.
We're like building our own fucking matrix, dude.
Yeah. It's like, did you see that one thing? I think it might have been a couple years ago now, but where that chick like live streamed 24 hours. She live streamed 24 hours a day nonstop for like a certain amount of time. I don't know.
Yeah, that was some weird 4chan shit, right?
Yeah, a year or something like that. Just live streamed straight all year.
Just doing weird shit, right? Like, just like huddling up and not moving for like being super still, but like awake for hours and hours on end, and
like
then writing weird shit on the walls and on paper and shit. Yeah. I remember seeing that.
Like some weird exorcist shit.
And it was always like, who the fuck? I don't think they ever figured that out. It was like, what is she live streaming? Like, does she? And sometimes she would seem like, sometimes she would leave, but like she would put things up against the wall. Like, it definitely seemed like someone who was like mentally disturbed, but it was always like, what is this? Like, how'd she get there? Who set up this live stream? Why is it going? What is she doing?
It was like she was possessed.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It was weird, but to me it always seemed fishy because it didn't seem like something that she had set up and was doing on her own. It always seemed like there was some kind of something else playing into it, some other force, whether it be another person or fucking something weird going on there. That's one of the creepiest, weirdest internet weird things that I've seen.
Yeah, definitely fucking weird. Definitely. Like, dude, that shit trips me out, is like going down that whole thing of like looking into people that have like been possessed and shit. Do you believe in that?
Possessions?
No, yeah, like people getting possessed by like demonic things.
I have not looked into that too much, no.
I mean, there's like movies and shit on it, like The Exorcist and shit.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I've spent a whole day looking into it.
I've never been as intrigued with the possession stuff as like the time traveler and like extra dimension spiritual ghost type shit. Even the ghost stuff I'm not that into that much, but the idea that time travel is possible.
Yeah, I mean, it's just time travel is just like it's hard to wrap your mind around it, because like pretty much if you can achieve a fast enough speed, you can time travel according to science, right? Like the light that we're seeing in the stars above us, those stars technically probably don't even exist anymore, at least some of them. That light's already, by the time it gets to us, it's gone. So
yeah, but how would the solid organic matter stay the way it is going that fast?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the issue, I think, that comes up with time travel. I don't know, I'm no scientist. Maybe somebody's got an equation to work around that, but I think right now that would be the thing stopping me. It's like I feel like you would just obliterate.
Yeah. Just you would just get squeezed. I don't know. You would just, you would go too fast and just go into nothing.
Yeah.
I'm super high over here. I hope everyone out there is super lit too.
Yeah, this is a pre-recorded nighttime sesh. We're actually shooting this one here on Tuesday night. Little inside baseball for you guys.
Yeah.
It's a late night. We got some shit we got to go take care of in the next couple of days. So we got to get them in when we can get them in, but we are banging out podcasts, keeping this train a-rolling.
Yeah, man, did you hear about Kaepernick finally getting that deal of a lifetime? He finally paid off.
Yeah, but you heard it wasn't as much as they reported initially, right? I heard like 100 million in the beginning. I think it was more like 40 or 50.
Yeah, which is still a great payout.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that more than makes up for the salary that he would have made over the last two or 3 years, however long it's been.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The interesting thing about that is, like, do you think this increases the chances that he comes back and plays, or do you think this kind of closes the door on that? Like, I don't know which way to feel about this one.
I think he's done.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's probably done playing.
I always thought that he would never play again, but something about this and something about the way it feels makes me feel like maybe he will play again, you know?
For who?
Maybe a team will take a chance on him, you know?
You think he's going to start?
The Patriots or something?
You think
Fuck no.
Yeah, okay.
No. I've always, even when Cap was taking the Niners to the Super Bowl, you remember me back in the day saying he's not the answer, you know? I never liked his mechanics, like the way he kind of throws it like a baseball.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely like the physical tools. You know, it's all there. He just never really progressed the way he should have, you know,
right.
As far as like just becoming cerebral on the field and also like fixing the mechanics and the footwork and all that shit.
Right. I mean, dude, that's what I see in a lot of young quarterbacks these days, honestly, that I point out to you right away. And like a lot of people, they're like, this guy's nice, man, like the Clemson quarterback. But I'm like, dude, look at his motion. He's winding up like a motherfucker. Like, that's bad.
Yeah, that big Tebow wind up where you start low. You know, you got to just be right there, short to release all the time.
Release time. Dude, look at Brady. Look at Luck.
It's out in 2 seconds.
Look at all the best quarterbacks. It's out in, like, it's less than that. I think it's like 0.3 is like, I don't know. I'm high. But I think
Brady has the lowest average. I think it's like right around 2 seconds. Something like that.
2 seconds release time?
No, 2 seconds from the snap to the time he releases the ball.
Yeah. Okay, I'm talking about like from when the front hand comes off the ball. I think it's 0.3 seconds.
Oh, okay.
It's like 0.3.
As far as the actual release time.
Right.
Yeah.
But like if you swoop way down, it's like 0.5. It's like way longer.
Yeah, but I always just wonder, like, how are you a professional? How do you get to that level, especially to be a guy who's been in the league for 5, 6, multiple seasons? How does that not get fixed? How do you, at some point, you just got to break down the mechanics. I think if you look at Kaepernick's career, I feel like young players can almost be sabotaged by their own success if they have it too early on.
Yeah.
You know? He had so much success because he walked onto a team that was stacked.
Right. And then nobody really took the time to be like, yo, you need to change this shit, because they're just like, yo, run with it because it's working.
It was getting them by.
Yeah.
They were, a definite contender for several years to win the Super Bowl, but it was, if you looked at it, if you took a step back and looked at it objectively, it was never because of the quarterback play. That was always one of the weaker aspects.
Yeah.
And that running stuff, you see these guys come in, and a lot of these guys can kind of light it up and do it for a year, maybe a year and a half.
Yeah.
But then, coaches scheme it up, and the defenses learn how to play these guys, and it doesn't really work for them as much anymore. And they take too many hits, especially these small guys that are mobile. Even the ones that can do it really well, like Russell Wilson, you're not doing it as much because he gets beat the fuck up. You know?
Right. Yeah, but good for Kaepernick, man. Whatever he got, 40, 50, $80 million, whatever the hell it is. Honestly, I'm happy for him because I think he did a little dirty. Mechanics might have been a little iffy, but, he was still a decent quarterback, and he just got pretty much shut out of the league, so.
We've talked about Cap a few times. This will probably be the last time we talk about it unless he does get signed by another team. But the way to sum up the way I feel about it is just that I've always said all along Kaepernick is good enough to be an NFL quarterback.
Right.
But if I were a GM, I would not sign him. And this is the way I feel like most teams think about it. because the number one thing that you don't want as an organization is distractions.
Right.
Whether it be players with huge egos, that's not what I'm saying about Kaepernick, but any kind of off the field attention.
Right.
And then there's also the thing, a threshold where it's like you're willing to take a certain amount of that, especially you see this in the NBA. You'll put up with some bullshit if the production is way up here.
Right.
You'll put up with about right here. But as soon as that doesn't, make sense anymore, and for a backup quarterback, which is what I feel like Kaepernick is, if he's your starting quarterback, you're looking for a future. You're looking for your future. You know what I mean? And that's the reality at the end of the day. If he was, pick any top 10 quarterback in the league. If he was somebody if he was a franchise quarterback and all this stuff happened, same exact situation, same exact protest, he would not be out of the league.
No.
And I think a lot of people look at it and they just go, oh, this guy went to 2 Super Bowls. He's better than half the quarterbacks in the league. No. And even though I think he might be the 20 to 25th best quarterback in the league, or 20, I don't think there's 30 quarterbacks that are better, but it makes sense to me why people don't want to sign him.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's not worth the distraction.
Let me get that digger.
Bam. That being said, I do hope he gets a chance. I do hope somebody signs him.
Yeah, I mean, I hope he does too, but I don't think it's going to happen. But you never know. Like you said, publicity is definitely, a factor in the NFL or any major sport, really. So signing somebody just to get attention by the media is definitely something that teams do.
It's definitely something that, you have to look at when you're trying to think about the entire picture and why he hasn't got signed yet.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on here. The next part of the show is kind of going to be our carousel segment, kind of our interchangeable segment right here. This is where we would normally do Defend the Bars. We're going to switch it up. We're going to do some different things from week to week. We might do Defend the Bars. We might do a little Where Are They Now? We might voice over the news. If you guys have ideas for any of these types of segments and you're watching this on YouTube, put them down there in the comments. This week we're going to do some top 3.
Oh, that was a doozy.
So, top 3 could be anything. Top 3 favorite booties.
Yeah.
Top 3 favorite athletes of all time. Top 3 favorite strains. Top 3 whatever.
We got top 3 coming your way. What are we doing this week?
This week we've got top 3 stoner movies of all time.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's a pretty good one, right?
Yeah. I think my number 1 is definitely How High.
I don't know if I can give you any kind of argument on that one.
I mean, that's just a classic. I don't think anybody's outdone that one yet, so.
I would say in no particular order, I've got like How High, Half Baked.
Yeah.
Up in Smoke. I mean, you got to pay homage.
Cheech and Chong.
Yeah.
Definitely got to pay homage to that. Half Baked, yeah.
Friday, I would consider that a weed movie.
Yeah.
Friday.
I like Pineapple Express, too.
Harold and Kumar, the first one.
Yeah.
There's something about weed movies. I guess most movies in general. The first one, especially when there's a sequel, the first is always the best. First Harold and Kumar is the best. First Friday is the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's hard to beat the first movie, but there's a lot of good classic stoner movies. I don't know if I could necessarily give you my top 3, but I could narrow it down to those 5. I guess this is top 3, so we have to do.
Yeah, let's go. CCC top 3 stoner movies. Go.
I would go number 1, How High.
Yes.
And I don't know if you heard this, but they're making How High 2, and Method Man and Redman got booted off that shit.
That's terrible.
They're using like Lil Yachty, Lil Boat Dude, and some like other guy that I've never heard of.
Wow, I'm not gonna go see it.
So I heard they're gonna do their like own offshoot movie. They're basically gonna do it on their own, and that's gonna be like the real How High 2. Okay. But the other one's probably gonna be called How High 2. Some fucked up shit. Anyway, number 1, How High.
Yes.
Number 2.
What's number 2?
Shit.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Half Baked.
I'm gonna put Half Baked there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then number 3, I'm probably gonna go Friday.
Friday. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
That's the CCC top 3 stoner
Same
movies.
list for you?
Yeah.
All right.
We had to agree. That's the CCC top 3.
That's the one we put together. I feel pretty strongly about that list.
Yeah.
If anybody out there disagrees, definitely let us know. But I don't know. I'm not really sure how you can be too mad at that lineup.
You can't be mad at that lineup. Yeah, and you definitely can't be mad at these viewer calls that are coming in. You know, we've definitely been seeing more and more come in every week. We really appreciate that from you guys out there.
Yeah, we've been getting some heaters. We asked for people to do accents, and I think we have more of an international reach than I thought, because we're getting people with real accents from real places around the world. We didn't mean like we only want foreigners to call in.
Right.
But an accent is always better.
Yeah.
There's something about, hearing a question when it's read in a British accent or an Australian accent.
Yeah.
It's just always a little bit better.
And it's tight. It's tight that we have a global reach.
Yeah, but
it's cool.
If you're a U.S. citizen, which most of our viewers are.
Yeah, don't
looking
feel
by the demographics.
Don't feel afraid to call in.
Yeah, and give us your best accent.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a go. Don't be afraid. Send your calls in to theccc420@gmail.com.
That's right. Send them in. And with that being said, we are going to get into our first viewer call of this podcast. It's Phil from Oregon.
Shout out, Phil.
What up, Phil?
What's up, guys? Phil from Oregon. Get ready, it's a doozy.
Uh-oh.
My question is, what are you guys' thoughts on climate change and the current state of our environment? What's the Earth going to look like in 30 or even 60 years from now?
Wow.
Thanks. Peace.
All right. Thanks, Phil. Peace.
Well, if it's anything like this room, it's going to be cloudy.
Wow, climate change. Here we go. Well, it's definitely real.
He was right. That one was a doozy.
I think we could start there. If we're going to start on climate change, we should start by saying that I think we both definitely believe in it. There's people, especially involved in our government, that try to actually portray that global warming and climate change is fake, which is wrong. The Earth has a natural cycle, and we're accelerating it.
Yeah, I think a lot of it, like so many things, so many like hot button issues in our society, comes down to like verbiage and terminology and just these key terms. Like I always like hearing climate change more than I like hearing global warming.
Right. Right.
Because like that's what it is. Like you said, it is something that happens. It's perpetual. The climate is always changing. It's always kind of balancing and rebalancing and shifting, and like things change over time. Climates in certain areas change, sometimes temporarily, sometimes permanently. Temperatures, rainfall, all that shit fluctuates and goes up and down. That being said, I am part of the group that believes that at the point that we're at with civilizations and humanity and fossil fuels and power plants and energy and cars and smog and airplanes and everything, I feel like we are contributing somewhat to whatever change is going on. I don't know if it's this much. I don't know if it's this much.
I believe that it is a lot. Because one thing I know that, throughout the universe actually is that like the number one cause to a hot atmosphere is CO2, and we're releasing a fuck ton of CO2 into the atmosphere compared to if we weren't here, I think Venus or something like that is farther away from the sun than us, but way hotter in the atmosphere because it has way more CO2. You know what I'm saying? So it's farther away from the sun, but it's way hotter due to the gas mixture in the atmosphere,
Yeah.
The water on our planet acts as like an AC, you know what I'm saying, along with the oxygen. So, the more and more CO2 that we release into the air, it's just going to get hotter and hotter and hotter. And all our power plants, all our cars, everything, we're definitely accelerating it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I feel like one thing that probably freaks me out more than that is just the way we kind of take from the environment and we don't always put back.
Right.
You look at like the loss of habitat, all the things that we pull out of the oceans for, fishing, for like, commercial sale, for just for food, especially like you look at like Japan and a lot of these other countries where like they live almost entirely off fish and shit from the ocean. You know, it's like out here we have a little bit different perspective because we eat different shit. But you go to other places in the world and you realize like how dependent they are on the ocean for food. And then it's like we take stuff like we see these fucking crazy fish tanks. It's like people go out to the ocean and they catch these corals and these fish wild, and they take them and they sell them, you know, for people to put in their aquariums and look at and go like, wow, you know. Yeah. And it's like they make tank bred shit too, but not nearly enough, you know. They're still pulling stuff out of the reefs. And then you look at like when you talk about climate change and shit, you look at, you know, what's happening to the reefs, and it's like I feel like in a perfect world we would be more concerned with like all the biological life and stuff, and we would be doing whatever we could to help change that. So like if the temperatures are changing in an area, that means like if it's getting hotter here, that means that if it was cool here, if it was already warm here and it's cool here, then it's getting too hot here, but it's getting the right temperature here. Right. So if we were like say taking corals from here, propagating them, and then, you know, letting them grow out, like replanting them or whatever in the ocean here. Right. Same thing with the forest, all these places that were, you know, deforesting, cutting down for all kinds of different reasons, development, resources, shit like that. If we were replanting, you know, if we were just doing more replenishing for the shit that we were taking out, I think we could withstand some of this climate change without seeing so many species lost and so much like damage to the overall ecosystem.
Yeah. I mean, we're definitely going to need to see some change here pretty soon, though, because, you know, it's not looking good. And, you know, we are capable of it because I don't know if you remember back when the ozone had a pretty severe, like, crack in it, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, we fixed that. You didn't hear about that?
No.
What?
I didn't hear about that shit.
The ozone layer in the earth, I think, like, you know, probably 5-10 years ago, due to all the ozone gases that were legal, had a fat crack in the ozone, and it was not good.
A crack? Would it make a crack or like a hole?
A hole, whatever.
What the fuck? This is crazy.
A crack or a hole in the ozone layer of our atmosphere, which is like our protective layer. And, you know, we banned as a globe, I guess you would say, we banned all the greenhouse gases that was damaging the ozone layer, and now it's healing.
That's crazy.
So we came together and you know, banned those substances or whatever you call them.
United Nations shit. Yeah. But now Trump pulled out of all that stuff, so
God, I know.
The climate agreement and all that, so
that's not a good look. That's not a good look. That's embarrassing. Why? What the hell, man?
Excuse the torch sound, guys.
But, yeah. Interesting shit, dude. I'm so high over here, I'm not gonna lie.
I am too. This is probably... we were not actually planning on doing this tonight, and we already smoked so much fucking weed before we started this. Yeah. This is probably, I would say, the most lit I've been doing a podcast so far.
Dude, me too. I mean, you saw me earlier today. I passed out in my bed for like 3 hours in the middle of the day. That never happens. With my shoes on.
Yeah, so to answer that question, I mean, who's to say what shit is going to look like in even 10 years, much less, 50 years?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't think it's going to look very good, though, just due to, the population and how it's rapidly increasing. And
I feel like we're always talking about subjects like this, kind of trying to, predict the future.
Yeah, always trying to predict the future. It sucks, but... more people, more trash, more bullshit, more, greed, everything, all that. It's just
if you think about sometimes shit like this, when you think about the future, is scary. But if you think about the technology that we could develop and the things that we could do with it, that part's exciting to think about.
Yeah.
If we came together and really pulled together all of our resources and came together as humanity, we could do a lot more about all these problems.
Yeah. But I don't know. Phil, thanks for calling in, man. Shout out to Oregon. And we're going to move on to our next question here. It's from Nico from a neighboring state, good old Washington State. What up? Part of the West Coast. Here we go. We got Nico.
Reheat Squad.
Yo, all right. What's up, guys? This is Nico in Washington State.
What up?
I've been watching you guys
since way back in the day, since I was like in high school. And I swear you guys used to hate on perp back in the day. Not hate on it, but you didn't smoke perp. You said it make you tired and shit. I don't even know what I want to ask you guys. I just want to say what's up and much love.
He sounds lit.
Yeah.
I need to know where you get the Mac Dre bobblehead at. If you guys just talk about Mac Dre for a little bit, that'd be cool. I don't know.
Ooh, yada I mean.
Much love. I don't know what else to tell you guys. I'll think of something good next time. You said you want more fucking voice memos, so
he's bumping your freestyle in the back.
Is he?
Yeah, I heard you with the heart attack. I could hear that shit. Good question. We used to hate perp supposedly, and now we love it.
Yeah. Andy asked us to talk about Mac Dre.
Yeah, we've talked about the perp thing a couple of times before.
Yeah.
But to sum it up, we just hate fake perp.
Yeah, we hate fake perp. We love the real deal perp, and but honestly, back in the day, there was a lot of grapes around. So even at one point in time, grapes was kind of like Blue Dream. I'm not gonna lie. So like the original no grape shirt and shit was just like, it was when the OG Kush wave really came, and we were kind of on that Kush movement, and we were kind of hating grapes.
And wouldn't you say there was a point in time, just like everything else right now, people pay for the hype. There was a point in time where people would pay twice as much just if the weed was purple.
Oh yeah, for sure. But nowadays I love the old school Urkel grapes, GDP, even if it's
exactly. Just because it's the color purple doesn't mean it's true purple.
No,
No.
But yeah, I would say that's where there was a little bit of like a love-hate with grapes back in the day. We loved it at first, then we kind of rebelled against it, made the no grapes t-shirts and all that, which we should bring back, by the way. But yeah, nowadays we don't really like the fake grapes. But I do. Sometimes I do. I like gelato. Gelato's perp.
Yeah, but that's not one of those strains I'm talking about. The ones I'm talking about are more like, you know that cut of Mendo purple that's just black and it's dry. It almost like turns to dust.
Terrible.
That weed is like black. The purple I'm talking about is that light green with varying amount of purple hues. It could be 50%. It could be 90%.
Right.
You break it apart and it smells like sweet grape candy.
Yeah.
That's the purple that I'm talking about.
Exactly.
That old school, humble purple Urkel.
Yep.
For those of you that are familiar with our videos on YouTube, you've heard us talk about this a million times. So we won't wear it out, but, Grape Gang knows what's up.
Pull up to the store. Buy your weed from the store.
Speaking of Mac Dre, yeah, we both grew up loving Mac Dre. We're obviously from the Bay Area.
Love Mac Dre.
We grew up loving hip-hop, so naturally... we graduated high school in 2004 or 2008. Mac Dre died, I believe, in 2004. Right?
2004, I believe he died, and we
freshman year of high school.
We continued to live on his legacy. Honestly, we did a lot of dumb shit to his music. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
At a young age, but honestly, that shit was so fun. I wouldn't really take any of it back.
I don't listen to Mac Dre as much as I used to, but every once in a while, maybe a couple times a year, I'll go back and listen to it, and that's actually probably one artist that just gives me more nostalgia than listening to any other type of music.
Just more memories, and God, it just brings back great times, honestly. It was so fun, and, he was part of a huge movement, the hyphy movement. Mm-hmm. And that's something that'll be remembered in Bay Area history forever.
I don't think at least in my personal, what I've seen in my lifetime, I've never seen a community come around and support someone, in this case, unfortunately, after his death. But, like, Mac Dre became an instant legend overnight. He was already a Bay Area legend,
right,
in the rap community overnight, or from the jump. But when he died, it was like I've never seen so many tributes, so many other artists making songs dedicated to Mac Dre and shit. So
yep, definitely Mac Dre was one of the biggest artists of our childhood / young adulthood, and forever rest in peace.
We'll always have a spot on the podcast for old Ronald Dragon over there.
That's right, man. Forever rest in peace, Mac Dre.
All right, looks like we got one more call, yeah?
Yeah, we got one more call from Slavko.
In Canada.
Canada, eh?
Boom, boom, fuck, what is going on, boys? I was wondering what do you guys think of flushing?
Whoa, hold on. Run that back.
I'm not talking about your
Run
shit.
that back,
I'm talking
boys.
about your plants.
What the hell?
Calling it from
Oh, this is going to be
boom, boom,
fire.
fuck, what is going on, boys? I was wondering
Boom, boom,
boom, boom,
fuck.
what is going on, boys? I was wondering what do you guys think of flushing? And I'm not talking about your shits. I'm talking about your plants.
Pause it.
Calling it from Canada.
Boom, boom, fuck. What the fuck is going on, boys? If you guys want to see how to make an entrance on a call,
That's it.
that's textbook right there.
Mm-hmm.
It said, okay, so I saw the name Slavko. It sounds pretty Russian. I saw Canada, so I'm like, all right, what are we going to get here? Definitely Russian.
Yeah, I would.
Thick Russian accent on this fella.
Yeah, I like it, man. Let's roll it.
I was
Continue.
wondering, is flushing necessary, or is it some outdated bro science that our dumbasses have not learned is unnecessary for plants and does nothing for them?
Well,
Or is it useful? I'm not sure. Yes.
Okay, so I was 100% convinced, 80% through that was an authentic accent. Some of it at the end gave me a little bit of pause, but nevertheless, that's either a fire accent, if it's a real one, or it's an incredible impersonation.
I think that's real.
10 out of 10 on the accent on that one.
Yeah, good accent, feller.
So, Slavko, flushing, is it necessary?
Yes.
He's not talking about our shit.
No, yeah. Flushing weed plants is 1,000% necessary. If you don't think it is, then, oh boy.
It's definitely not outdated bro science.
No.
I would say it's one of the most important things and one of the most commonly overlooked things, along with like
Dude.
properly trying and curing weed. So often people put all that time into vegging plants,
Right.
growing out the plants that 8, 12 weeks, whatever it may be,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then they neglect to put the time and the effort into learning how to properly
Right.
flush, dry, and cure weed.
I believe in a natural, just, at least 2-week flush minimum. I know there's like accelerants that, supposedly allow you to flush in like 3 to 5 days or whatever. I just believe in a good old, long flush at the end.
I'm just old-fashioned, bro. Maybe we're stubborn. Maybe technology is come along and we're just not up to date. But when it comes to growing weed, bro, I'm old school. I want tried and true.
Yep.
I like weed that's grown from soil. I like weed with a long flush.
Yep. Flush that shit until the leaves are yellow.
Yeah.
Let the plant talk to you.
2 weeks.
Let the plant talk to you. Say, hey, I'm done.
Or longer.
I'm yellow. I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't have any more nutrients in me.
And especially for people like us that maybe like to smoke, more than others, we probably have a higher tolerance. I like weed that, for the most part, I like when you take a strain even a little bit longer than it's typically supposed to go, because I like more of that heavy sedative. For the most of the time we're smoking indicas.
Right.
I'll smoke the fruity sativas every now and then. A lot of times for dabs mainly, but when it comes to flower, I like a good solid indica.
In that case, most indicas like to turn real perp, so just let the plant talk to you. When
amber trikes.
Yeah, when you flush it, just watch that bitch turn color, and then pull it, man.
Yeah,
So,
my favorite weed is organic, soil grown, with a nice long flush, taking the distance, if not even a little further. I want an 109-yard touchdown return.
Yep.
That's what I want.
That's the thing. You shouldn't need to feed it a ton of shit at the end, dude. Good genetics are going to produce good terps. You know what I'm saying? It's all about, getting it what it needs in the beginning and the middle stages. You know what I'm saying? To get it nice and beefy and terpy, and then you just let it ride out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, to answer that question, I think flushing is crucial.
Crucial.
And I wouldn't want to smoke any weed that was unflushed.
No.
And you can tell by the way it burns if it's not.
You definitely can, and the way it tastes.
It's not going to burn well. It's not going to taste good.
Mm-mm.
It's not going to feel good in your lungs.
No.
It's that simple.
It's that simple.
And that wraps up our calls for this week.
Yep. Thanks for calling, guys. We really appreciate it, as always.
Definitely send us your calls. It can be anything. If you guys have a funny video you want to send us, video, question, whatever it is, just it's got to have audio so we can play it for our audio listeners. Send it in to the CCC420 at Gmail, THECCC420
Blow.
at the gmeezy.com.
.gz.
There you go.
Something like that.
We're perped out in this motherfucker.
I'm so high.
It's time for everybody's favorite part of the show, ideas.
All right, hit me. What's your first one?
I got a banger for you this week.
All right.
Why do baseball managers wear the entire uniform? The same exact shit the players wear.
That's a good question. That is a good question.
Like, why? Imagine if NFL and NBA players did the same thing. Imagine if Steve Kerr was out there in a fucking jersey.
Just a full get up.
With a number, sleeveless, out there with the jersey, with the shorts and everything, calling timeouts, looking just like the players. That's how it is in baseball. Every time I see these guys run out to the mound and do pitching changes, this runs through my mind. Even though I play baseball, it just, every time we show up and we see our coach who never plays, but he's wearing the uniform, he's got the stirrups on, he's got his socks up high, he's got his fucking gut tucked in. I'm just like, dude.
Why don't they just wear suits?
But think about it. The NBA coaches wear suits. What if they wore sleeveless jerseys? And then you look at the NFL. What if Bill Belichick was out there in pads and a fucking helmet? Even if he wasn't in a helmet. Imagine Bill Belichick in a football jersey.
Yeah.
Football jersey pants minimum.
You wouldn't even be able to tell them apart. You'd be like, where's Bill?
I think we should start a petition, bro.
Oh, that's so funny.
If baseball managers got to do it, then I think other pro sport coaches should have to do it too.
I agree 100%.
This should go for every sport. Hockey. They should have to put on the fucking hockey gear.
Yeah.
You know?
Soccer.
And I want them skating out on the ice whenever they need to have any involvement in the game.
Yep.
Coaches need to stop doing shit from the sidelines.
Yeah.
If you're going to have anything to do with the game, I want you out there on the floor.
Yeah.
Run a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
Come on.
I mean, fuck.
At least ref or something. Shit.
Yeah. I don't know how much we can really expand upon that, but...
Yeah, no, that is a great question. It's a good, That's
the definition of a HIGHDEA. I was literally driving the other day, scrolling through the radio stations, which is something that we rarely do nowadays. You're always Bluetoothing something, right?
Yeah.
I got in the car, I just didn't feel like doing it, and I was just skipping through the radio stations, and I fucking came across a baseball game. I'm just driving, and I'm thinking about this in my head. I'm just running through like all of the former and past coaches, but Bill Belichick and football pads is probably the one that gave me the best laugh for visual.
That's hilarious, man. I would love to see Bill in some pads, man. I'm sure he'd be pretty furious.
Oh, Bill Belly.
Oh, Billy.
What's going to happen with the Patriots, man? Robert Kraft, Tom Brady's going to retire soon.
I don't know.
It's going to be interesting to watch, as always, the next couple of years.
Yep. Yeah, I think they might finally fall from the dynasty. We'll see, though.
Saying that for years. We'll see.
We shall see.
You got some heat this week or what?
I do. I think so, at least. I don't know. It might go pretty deep, and I don't really know if it's going to make a ton of sense, but I'm going to give it a go.
Lay it on me.
But let's see. So, you know how they say that we can only use 20% of our brain, right?
Yeah. I think I've heard that's not true, though.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not true?
I'm pretty sure.
So you're going to shoot it down right away?
No. I'm just saying, I think you're about to back this up with some absolute fire. But I'm just saying, I was very intrigued when I first heard that. And I looked into it, and I remember hearing that it was not necessarily
true. Let's say it is true, because I think it might be true. I think the brain is a lot more powerful than we think. And I think part of the reason that we don't use it all is obviously technological aid, but also just society. What if, every time somebody gets sick, they usually just go to the doctor, and the doctor doesn't really do anything but just give you comfort, really, and maybe give you some medicine if they really need to, that may or may not help. Who knows,
Yeah.
But really, the brain has the ability to cure the body. You know what I'm saying? It knows when it's sick, and it cures it. You know what I'm saying? So going to the what I'm trying to say is The only reason that we don't use all of our brain is because society has put so many things in place that we rely on.
I think now more than ever with technology, right? But I wonder how much of it is programmed, where society is intentionally set up a certain way to make people develop a certain way and think a certain way and maybe be more narrow, but how much of it is also unintentional, which is just like maybe the way the education system is set up, the way that we raise our kids in different cultures, like maybe all these different subtle, things that, different cultures do differently. Maybe that has, some kind of effect that we haven't really studied or don't really understand, I definitely think that there's a good chance that we are not, that humanity used to have in ancient times other certain capabilities, or maybe was better at certain things than we are now.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like feeling other people's energy or like foresight, shit like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They talk about like the third eye and like other, shit like that. Maybe I feel like at some point, if you ask me what humans are going to be like in 1,000 years, I don't think we'll be speaking to each other like this. We'll be talking in some form of like almost like telepathically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess I'm just trying to say that, like, I feel like society is, put in place to almost slow us down rather than to help us. I don't know if that's completely just me being super high. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like, society, I feel like, just gives us bumpers, like when you're bowling.
Well, we've kind of talked in the past about how, like, the way school and work is set up, it's kind of designed to make you think and act a certain way.
Right.
And maybe if different things, if the reward system was different at an earlier age, maybe if there was more value put on creativity and shit like that, maybe we would just see different things. Maybe kids would develop differently. Maybe they would have higher aptitudes in different things, and maybe we would have solved a whole bunch of problems that we have in society nowadays if people were allowed to maybe like just think differently or do things a little bit different than the norm.
A little less narrow.
Yeah.
Society just makes us fucking robots almost.
Yeah. And more afraid to, I think we all go through it. We all feel it naturally. There's times where you might want to do something and there's just such a pressure to kind of conform to the norm, and it like discourages people from being just open-minded in general.
Yep. There's always, when you rely on so many things, it's hard to, it's hard to be like independent, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. HIGHDEAs, man, they can go real deep real quick, but I hope that made somewhat of some sense.
That was a good one. I liked it.
It does in my head. I don't think we tap into all of our brain capacity. I really don't. I don't even know. I guess if they prove that wrong, then fuck them. Because I don't think...
Oh, I definitely don't think... I would agree with you 100%. We don't use all of what our brain is capable of.
I would say we use max 60%. Max.
And
max.
what I think is... I think because of technology and society and other factors that we didn't even mention, I feel like we're not maybe progressing in certain areas as far as like mentally, you know?
Right. We're actually digressing.
Yeah, because like you said, we're becoming more dependent on technology.
Right.
On GPS, like not as many people have survival skills anymore, social skills, life skills, all of those things are diminishing and as a result of technology for the most part, you know? So there's obvious benefits of that, and I'm sure we have evolved in certain ways that we wouldn't have otherwise.
Right.
But I'm wondering if we're not evolving in other key areas that
absolutely
would benefit us.
We're not. We're definitely not.
Now, I'm not saying that technology's bad or we shouldn't have it, but maybe we are like a little kid with a toy they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like maybe we just haven't learned how to use all these different tools responsibly yet.
I mean, it's 100% true. It's like saying growing up doing math in your head versus using a calculator. Who's going to be smarter? It's the person that can do it in their head.
I think with technology and with the capabilities of like science and humanity, just where we're at right now, I feel like humanity as a whole, we're basically a 16-year-old with a fast car.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
We're getting to the point with AI, with, you know, pick one.
Right.
Any of the things that we always talk about that are on the horizon, that are coming in the future, that we're going to have to learn how to deal with.
Right.
We're getting to the point where shit's going to get crazy in our lifetime.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that if you look back at our history and the way we've handled things in the past as a species,
right,
I'm not sure we're ready for it.
I don't know if we're ready for it either. But I'm gonna keep it real. The coffee's wearing off, and I'm fucking high as shit, dude.
Yeah.
My eyes are like shutting.
I'm stamped because my eyes are low, but I'm over here like yob yob yob.
Yeah.
That coffee was strong for sure, but
I guess I just smoked too much indica over here or something. I'm like,
my mind's going, but I can hear it in my voice. We both sound tired on the mic tonight.
oh my god, I'm so high, but I'm gonna go ahead and take another bong rip.
Yeah, we might be in trouble on this one.
Everybody out there, light up your bongs. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, we might be in trouble, cause I'm feeling kinda self-conscious because of the fact that I can't juggle. I can't even solve this Rubik's Cube. I wish that was that Chinese dude. Hope that wasn't rude.
I am so high, I'm fucking lifted. Rolling in a bucket, fucking gifted. Oh yeah, I'm so high. My eyes are low and I'm shifty, yeah, right low and I gotta get it.
And you know that that's my motto. I be feeling like I just won the lotto. About to finish this podcast, about to spit this flow real fast. Hope it's gas, but it might not be.
I haven't got drunk on the podcast in a while, so I'm gonna get the booze from Santa Cruz, yeah. I think.
Shout out to Dan for the recovery. Yeah, I be smoking GDP, don't fuck with me.
Yeah, don't fuck with me. I be smoking on that GDP, you know me, yeah.
Smoking GDP while I hit that bog. I'm smoking Perpetual Mom, that is my favorite song. You know it's going down.
Yeah. Smoking Sherb Lotto, like I won the lotto. Pocket so fat, won the lotto, yeah. Got a supermodel, whoa. And I got the bottle full of the Hennessy, yeah. Look at me, you got into me, what? The bitch into me, yeah. She got into me, yeah. She back it up, like, yeah. Dick long, centipede, long, into me. Rolled it
I got a thing for these Snickers, oh yeah, I got a sweet tooth. Yeah, I'm in the booth, about to spit the truth. Yeah, I like that chocolate, yeah. You know I'm about to take a bite of this thing like Ozzy bit the head off the bat. When I'm rolling up a bat, I always roll them really fat.
Yeah, rolling really fat. He's rolling really fat. Rolling really fat, and he likes his girl real fat.
Yeah, you know I'm hustling for that endorsement.
Yeah.
Snickers, hit me. I'll be riding on a horse, man.
Riding on a horse, and he's got a fucking Porsche.
Gotta get that Snickers money so I can turn that horse into a Porsche, man.
Yeah, call me Michael Jordan when I drive to the lane and I drown ya. Yeah, and I'm from the motherfucking state, California, baby. I'm a brave creep. 49ers, baby.
GDP all damn week. Yeah.
Gold diggers, get
Another
the fuck up out of here.
in the bag.
In the bag, yeah.
That purple shit, I need it real
Straight
bad.
to the bag.
Shout out to the grape thing.
Another episode in the bag. Episode 18.
Grape gang.
Yeah. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'm Danny Flavors, he's Shane O'Mac. We are the real ones for the CCC 420.
We are out.
Later.
I'm so blown and you know we keep on ready to